Shut up. Welcome to Twinfools Styling School. Today we'll be learning how to style a Gokudera wig. And I'll be learning too, so we can all learn together. So, first of all, the tools we're gonna need, of course, we're gonna need a wig. I know, like, many people think of that, but it's kind of necessary. So, get yourself a wig, preferably not a crappy one. So, I mean, ordering off eBay is fine, like this one. Just make sure it's actually, you know, not made of styrofoam. And speaking of styrofoam, you're going to need a styrofoam head. They're so beautiful. Yeah. And then you pin the wig to the head like so.
So you just basically have a normal pin.
I didn't know the narrator was allowed to talk. Colibri. And then you're gonna need your stuff, and if you've ever talked to me about wigs, this is just what I tell you. Got to be hairspray. I have 2 cans, because I use it on my own hair as well. And the spiking glue, use this a little less, because it's not all that necessary, but sometimes it is, and use this even less, but it's just like piecing stuff, and you see it's got some like hair in there, and it smells really good. And then you're also going to need thinning scissors, which look like teeth, and they're really dirty, and regular scissors, possibly. All of these you're going to need for styling a wig.
And also we have some reference pictures, very important,
that are over there. And then, of course, since it's Gokudera, he's going to need some slippage around the edge. So that's going to involve some spiking, which is going to be fun, so we're going to save that for last, because I like that the best. And then just figure out what you need to get cut. So we're going to need to cut the back, obviously, because it's too long, and you're going to need to cut some pieces at the front. But I like to start at the back, because sometimes cutting is therapeutic, because it's violent. So you could just take, obviously we're going to need like most of this hair gone, so you take the thinning scissors like that, and you just squeeze and pull, and the hair comes off. It's actually kind of magic. And you don't want to like cut like that, even with thinning scissors, because then it just creates like waves of hair that are all the same length, which you don't want, or it'll just end up looking like a bob or something, or hinata. And once in a while, you're probably going to want to check to see exactly how short you're cutting it, because it's easy to get carried away and cut it too short, and it's too short, what are you going to do? We're going to add volume to the wig, and that's what this is for. It makes it piecey.
So what is this stuff called?
I don't know.
It's called got to be glued 55mm, and it looks like a wheel.
You start from underneath and just go like that, sort of combing with your fingies. Should probably coat the back of my hair. And it gets kind of messy, but it's totally worth it. And you only need a little bit on your hands. Like that.
So what you're doing is you're creating some volume and some texture.
Yes, that would be correct, Mrs. And as you can see, and not so much from this side because I have to work on it a little more, but from this side, you're getting spikes like that. You're just sort of lifting and pulling, and lifting and pulling.
So basically the what you're trying to achieve here is to kind of the textured look that Kokudera's hair does have. So it's kind of this thick strand.
And you don't want to be lifting up too hard, but you do want to get the wig to sort of puff. And then you need to go wash your hands. And this is the fun part, because we get to go to the bathroom. So now we go to the sides, where we're going to try to sort of flip it up in spikes. And we're going to need to cut a little bit, but we'll do that after we start at the back. And I have little tiny reference pictures of the back, but I mean, with this wig it kind of just does what it's supposed to, thankfully. So then what we're gonna do is, since I don't really need to shape the spikes first, like with something like a choji or a axle or Roxa spike, first you spray it. With this you can just piece it with,
and for this
got
you
to
are
be
using
glue.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
And you need very, very little of this.
Yeah. You just sort of rub it on your fingers. As you're going through, select the size of the spikes you want and try to vary them a little bit. The less you use, the better, because if you use too much, they're going to become just sort of thin, like sort of, didn't use too much on that one, but it's just thinner to start with. But if you use too much, it's going to end up like a bunch of those.
And also, obviously, you want it to look like a semi-natural hair when you're actually wearing it, so it needs to have some little bit of movement to it.
Well, if you are into that. I know I don't often do that. And sort of spread out some of these.
So now you can see it's starting to have very much like that kind of piecey look to it, like Kokudera here. He's an angry one.
And you don't have to worry about these sort of random strands, because what you can do is just go through later and cut them off.
I'm spraying. This is the part that Daddy likes.
I know Daddy loves this part. Why? Because I always spray something important.
Yeah.
I was about to say the manga are close behind.
Yeah, we're spraying the manga. We can put this in. Manga is not so important. As computers.
Yes.
Now as you can see, it looks really crappy.
You probably can't see it from with the camera, but explain what do you mean? It's got all these kind of extra strands.
Yeah, extra strands. Some up here too, from the spraying.
So it has individual strands of wig hair all over the place.
Yep, and some places are too long, some pieces are kind of, but that can and will all be fixed with cutting and group spiking.